what's good, everybody? What's good? What's good? Your boy Joey JP here, checking in live, man, with my main man. One of the OG homies, bro, from when I was a bud tender in 2016, 2017. I got my main man Hamzah Griffin in the building.
What's up, y'all?
Hamzah represents From the Soil Farms, aka FTS Farms, out in Washington State. Most of y'all motherfuckers don't know anything about Washington State. You ain't never smoked no weed from up there. You just know it rains a lot and you've heard of Seattle. The reality is there's a lot of culture to it. And if you guys see what Hamzah's doing right there, he's rolling up. You might have seen him grace our YouTube channel back in 2017, 8 years ago. You might have seen his pretty face grace our YouTube channel. Hamzah, man, welcome back, bro. It's a pleasure to be here.
Thanks, Joey,
you.
dude.
It's been a journey,
this is
man.
such a joy. It has, dude, and it's been really cool to see what you've built and cultivated, man. It's success is not a straight line. It's like this, man, and it's just so cool to see you persisting and being consistent, dude. And that's a bell I ring with my team all the time.
There was a night we hung out in like 2016 and 17, Hamzah, where I don't remember if you drove or if I picked you up. Back then, I think I was picking my friends up and bringing them to the studio because I just would do it no matter what. But I remember grabbing you after work, sliding up to the studio. We sat in Mitch's studio, my partner's music studio, and
Yep.
I couldn't roll, right? I could not roll at the time.
I didn't know. I forgot that nuance. That's
yeah. So you had to be in the video, Hamzah, because you were the star. You were the star of that episode. And you know what, Hamzah? That video has over 8,000 views. 8,000 pairs of eyes have learned how to roll a joint from you, Hamzah.
Hey.
Legend.
Well done, man. Thank you. Doing
Eastern
right.
Washington legend. Where are you tuning in from today, Hamzah? It looks beautiful there.
I'm here in Olympia, Washington, the capital.
The capital of Washington State.
There is our marble building right there. And then the LCB is right there down to the left. So
shout out the LCB.
Keep the opposition in my eyes, you know.
Always got to keep your enemies close. Got to keep your enemies close. No, big shout out to the LCB for doing what they can in a terrible situation, but also big shout out to the LCB for not also doing enough as what we believe they should do. Support the community, listen to the culture, give them some feedback. That's what we ask. Hopefully they don't go through. Protect the
cash cow.
Yeah.
Protect the retailers, man. This is crazy. Like every other phone call I have with some great partners, man, they're getting hit every 2 weeks.
Yeah, they're getting robbed,
time to put up steel walls. Like, it's crazy. That's a whole other thing.
We'll touch base on some of the issues that are going on in Washington that you see specifically. I know you've been bouncing around all over the state for a number of years with FTS, with From the Soil. So what's your official role there? What do they call you over there? What's on the email sign off?
So I'm now the sales director with the company.
Nice.
Been here for going on 8 years now.
Wow.
Started out doing just deliveries, vendor days, dropping off samples, courting relationships, just building the brand quite literally out in Eastern Washington.
Yeah.
When I started.
Where you're from originally?
No, I'm actually from Vashon Island out here on the west side.
Oh, okay.
Seattle.
Beautiful.
So grew up small island in the city, Seattle, Tacoma all the time. And that's where my relationship with weed, besides being familiar, really blossomed. My father and grandfather grew growing up. So
I was
I was always around
Am I misremembering here, Hamzah? Are you a Wazoo boy?
Yes, sir.
That's right.
Yes, sir. I was going to get to that part. Yes, sir. Go Cougs. Yeah. So grew up running around all those markets and Burien, Tacoma and stuff, and bringing packs back to the island and selling it to all my friends and stuff. And that's kind of like what got me all started into it. And then I was going to Wazoo. I was playing football out there for a couple seasons. I hurt my back and I was on every opiate under the moon, and it was terrible. Like, I grew up smoking weed, but that's when I really started smoking weed again. I mean, I was trying to get off the opiates. So, football ended, had an identity crisis, and I was like, damn, I have this opportunity. I'm at school. I'm the first one in my family to potentially graduate. Let's see this through. So I just stayed connected with everybody, and if you knew me, you owed me type deal. So it was fun. But then that's where I got connected with the store. I was just a bud tender when this whole thing started, and ended up getting into procurement, and every single farm that walked in through that front door was all pretty much a sole proprietor, man. It was somebody starting their dream up, or is their kid, or is their nephew, or somebody helping them. And I was just like, bro, here's my resume. Here's my resume. When I graduate, I'm calling you guys. Call me. Like, let's get this going. And nobody called me back after I graduated. And I was sitting at Diego Pellicer, just bud
Where we
tending
met.
one day. Yep.
The world's most
Downtown.
luxurious dispensary ever.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. The finest granite pillars, the finest marble floors, and the finest gold-plated.
And the finest budtenders too. We had some good looking staff, bro. We had me,
Yes,
you, we
sir.
had Jake the Professor. You
We
know
were
what I'm
four.
saying? We had all the
Yep.
ladies on our team, which were wonderful.
Yep, Harley, Angela.
Come
Yep.
on, man.
Oh,
Mama, and shout out to that original
Yep.
team. And that, Hamzah, that team, you and that team shaped my life. And you got to think how many people,
Jordan,
how much impact we've all had. Jordan,
dude, seriously, so many OGs in the game still. Even it's fucking cool. I see you and Lorenz are still tight too. That's awesome.
Lorenz is, you know what?
That.
Lorenz will forever. You know what we call Lorenz now? We call Lorenz special advisor to Respect My Region. That's what Lorenz got a special title because Lorenz is special. You know what I mean? He advises because we can't afford to pay his consulting fees. You know? No, Lorenz is my guy though. Lorenz changed my life. The Colorado guys, Jesse and Lorenz, changed my life.
Yeah, dude, miss Jesse too. I haven't talked with them since we all stopped working together. But yeah, dude,
I'll tag Jesse in the comments on this so that way.
Please, dude, please.
But yeah, those guys changed my life. Eric Sanchez, the manager, he changed my life. Jake the Professor.
Yeah.
You guys, your passion, doing that video with me back then, I get chills thinking about it. It really did change my life and set me on a path of helping people and providing assistance and more people to more people.
Yeah, man,
it's been incredible. You're now one of the guests. You're now. I would. It's crazy to think that you and I have been in the game this long, and that we've been doing this, and you know, it's an honor to come back with you and do this, bro. It's full circle.
I know, dude. We were just a couple of kids out of school, Central Washington, Eastern Washington, doing our thing, and here we are, still doing it, man. Proud. It's awesome.
So,
yeah.
We learned already in the brief time now. Your history with cannabis, family, it's a culture. Yeah. It's the Northwest. It's just normal. It's more normal than it is in a lot of places, right? You grow up with it, a lot of parental use growing up, but in like a it's just growing plants and medicine kind of way. It's not about drugs. With a lot
you
of
meet people too, man. I would never, like, some of my friends and groups of friends I've made, I would never just walk up and make friends with, or vice versa. You know, it was a session. We were rolling up blunts and be like, what the fuck? What's this 6'4" white dude named Hamzah doing that he can roll a tighter blunt than I can? You know, what's this? So like it opens bridges, man. It's a connector, you know, and that's how I always viewed it. And I've never got the taboo with it, you know, the drinking and chain smoking cigarettes. I've watched my whole family. We've all watched people we love die from that, man. And this is the issue, you know, like, because I'm cooling and I'm stress-free. Like, I've never gotten that, you know?
So you clearly have a love for the plant, a solid family upbringing with the plant integrated into it to some degree. You obviously, you know, you get through high school, you're doing your thing, you go off to college, you know, you're on a path to success there. And then we have a trial and tribulation. Injuries is a real thing for athletes, especially college athletes. Less than 1% of college athletes make it to the pros. That's a real statistic. And so even though there's more pro leagues than ever before, less than 1% goes and does anything with that. A lot of people get hurt. And so Hamzah, you know, you use cannabis for pain, I'm sure, and probably for a little bit of mental health surrounding that identity crisis. Right?
Definitely.
What are you smoking on now? What is the progression of your smoke been? Do you still smoke the same strains as you did before? What do you have in the blunt right now?
I like it all, Joey. I mean, I nothing beats rolling up a blunt. I like that little nicotine hit, as you well know. But I like rolling up a joint every week or so. I used to be really big into dabbing and stuff, but ever since the wife got pregnant, we both just dialed back the dabbing big time. So haven't been hitting the rig. I've just been doing the discreet pen and just once in a while, you know.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
I
yeah.
try I try to keep it to like if I am dabbing like some rosins or some live resins and stuff, just because that entourage effect really does it for me.
Yeah,
Right.
hopefully you're not dabbing wizard stones like we were doing back in the day.
Mm, mm.
Just big THCA diamonds for $120. Remember that?
That you had to do some product research. Um, yeah, and then what we would get like that THCA whatever powder and just cake the blunt with it. Oh my
Remember
gosh.
the honey oil buckets, the distillate buckets? Just
Mm-hmm.
sticky honey oil in
Mm-hmm.
the bottom of a jar.
Gosh. Yeah, no, dude, it's been a crazy evolution. I always love rolling weed up and hanging out, but I don't like stinking around my kid, I guess. It's like this
Yeah.
weird thing. I just have
It's
this
a
guilt.
it's a progression. Like I used to not care about it before I would go into work and
Yeah.
wear it like a badge of honor. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
right?
Like,
Yeah, this is my cologne,
this is
right?
me. Deal with me. Kush
Yeah.
is my cologne. I also sprayed some cologne. Do you like it? Like, check it
Mm-hmm.
out. But
Mm-hmm.
the reality is that it's different for everybody, right? People have these different stigmas and all that stuff. You're up there in Washington State. It's one of the most cannabis friendly places. What is cannabis in the industry like there today? What's it like in your community? Do people is it like what people say? There's just weed smoke everywhere, and you just walk through the clouds, or like what's it really like for you when you walk around
Well,
anywhere in Washington?
here in Olympia, the capital here, it's a little bohemia. You know, it's a port city. We're right on I-5, so you have the government types right up on that marble, you know, marble hill up there, and then you got like the whole hodgepodge down in the old city in the port. So like, yeah, you're gonna get people open air market smoking down there, hanging, walking around. Yeah, but then you also Washington, you got such a mixed bag. It's like California. You got the blues and the reds and pockets all over the place too. And
Yeah,
I think it's reflective of that and like open air smoking scenes in those communities, I guess. Like in Eastern Washington or Spokane, I'm probably not rolling around with a blunt walking around downtown, I guess I would say.
yeah.
Seattle,
They've
it's
always
still.
said that Spokane, the police tended to fuck with people a little bit more often.
Hmm. Hmm.
Reportedly, from people in Spokane,
Yeah, but
never had any issues
I don't know.
myself.
I've just noticed it's way more laid back, you know. As long as you aren't rolling down the street with clouds coming out of your car, it's kind
Yeah,
of live and let live per se.
DUIs are a real thing, folks. For smoking weed, take that stuff serious. Always be
Hmm.
safe. Always be safe.
Hmm. Hmm.
Um, Hamza, let's talk about From the Soil Farms.
Let's do it.
FTS. I've known about you guys for a while. You blessed me the last time I saw you at Interchange with my first couple jars, and I'll be honest, I was impressed. I kind of waited on smoking them because historically I wasn't impressed with FTS,
Yeah,
and then
yeah,
those ones I was like, wow, like I was like going back to it and excited to go back and like smoke a joint after joint after joint. I'm a joint guy, and
yep,
so big respect to your guys' growth and progression. You've been there 8 years, so you've been around the farmers. So give them my respects, right? It's
yeah.
always going to be it's harvest, it's
It's
growing things,
agriculture. Yeah.
seasonal. All of these different things play into it, and then we're talking about like license fees and cameras and taxes.
Hmm.
It's not easy to operate this, and so they figured it out. And I'm happy to sit here and say that, like, as somebody who lives in Los Angeles and smokes really really phenomenal weed all the time, that was really great. That was really good weed. Like
Thank you, Joey.
I
I
don't know what
appreciate
I
that,
don't know
man.
how much it goes for, but I'm happy. For me, again, I don't know what the Washington market is like, but I feel like I'm happy to pay 35 to 45 for that kind of stuff and have
Yeah.
that one of those brands in that mid tier top shelf conversation. I don't again not knowing what Washington is like. I thought that those
Hmm.
genetics were good. I thought the dry and the cure was solid. The branding was fun, and some of the other SKUs, which we'll talk about these varieties of SKUs you offer here today.
Yeah. Yeah.
I thought they were all par for par, right? What they should be.
Yep.
Uh,
Yep.
where did the idea come from? Obviously you joined the team at FTS, but where did that name From the Soil come from? Why that?
So from the soil, the name itself, we really wanted to try to touch on being as organic as possible without getting that clean green certification, having to recertify every couple months and pay them whatever,
Yeah,
and convey our philosophy. And our philosophy is if you wouldn't put on your food, why would you put on your cannabis? plain
Okay.
and simple. Happy Roots produce tasty fruits, and the owner of the company is a really big fan of the Dalai Lama and Buddhism. And From the Soil is a book written by the Buddha and a philosophy that, not the Buddha, sorry, the Dalai Lama. Sorry. And That's one of his books. So that's where the name From the Soil stems from.
Yeah.
And, you know, our philosophy is no pesticides. All of our products are pesticide free. We get to say we're single source because we are. We're on a 100-acre farm out in Elma, Washington. So we're
Okay. Elma making it
yeah,
some waves. Let's
yeah.
go.
So we're equidistant between the capital here in Olympia and Aberdeen. For you guys who aren't familiar with Washington, Aberdeen's Kurt Cobain's hometown and where he's buried too. So that's actually where we draw a lot of labor from in that area as well too. But yeah, we're out there growing on the 100-acre woods, like quite literally. The Willy Wonka's weed
Is it like
factory.
rainforesty out there, or is this is just the coast? Like it's kind of like wetlands,
It's
plains,
right
plain
before the
coast.
coast. So yeah, it's this beautiful wetland right
Yeah.
before the estuaries and all
There's
that.
that
So
big dip, right? That big sweeping turn there where like you drive through the farmlands and isn't there a
so
big cow or a steer
there's the
on the hill?
yeah. There's actually the SATSOP nuclear centers, and you can see those when you drive by, like right
Wow.
next to us. Yeah. So anyways, we're in the valley of the Olympic rainforest as well too. So we just get all that beautiful natural runoff in the rain. Great nutrients out there too. Great sunlight. We grow in what I like to call really fancy glass houses because they're not just it's calling it a glass house is injustice at the end of the day. It's insulated, it's concrete, it's got state of the art sensors in there. We got a hood on the
You saying
top.
glass house or is it a greenhouse or is that the same thing?
I would call it a glass house because
Okay.
I feel like a greenhouse is such a crude reference, and when you say that, you think of like
In
wood
yeah,
houses
in
out in
comparison to what you guys
yeah,
have. Okay.
because it really is an indoor enclosed contained grow at the end of the day. We're just using that sunlight because that's what the plants love the most at the end
Yeah,
of the day.
yeah.
What has been the tide that's lifted all the ships in our harbor recently? I mean, we've always been probiotic living soil, but we just partnered up with a farm right down the road from us, and they're supplying us with organic cow manure. So we get truckloads of priceless fertilizer that we feed to our own worm colony that we started. We have these African night crawlers in just a
Wow.
3,000 square foot room. It's our worm room. It's just vats of worms eating cow poop, pooping it back out into this perfect probiotic living soil base. And I mean, you think it'd smell like shit in there, because it's a bunch of things pooping, eating poop. It's odorless, Joey. You could pick it up, you could rub it on your face, man. It's like this perfect pH balance. It's nutrient balance. It's got all these microbes in there. It's the perfect place that plants want to grow. It creates a more potent high. It's a better tasting high. Another analogy I love to use when I'm doing my vendor days is, there's a lot of beautiful weed out there on the market, especially this indoor stuff. And it's like, $80 for an eighth or a quarter, something like that. Something that most people walking in the door don't have in their pocket. But we're trying to take that craft approach and apply it to value and scale. And we've really seen that in the last 4 months with all of our products. And we've been using this manure mixture in our bacteria teas to feed the plants. And then we've been supplementing the bottom of our 5-gallon pots after we take them out when we put them into bloom. And that is just, man, they are loving it. It's also springtime and summer, so the sun's out. Our weed's popping right now, man. With that being said, too, the joints are a big part of our business, and our philosophy is if we don't feel comfortable trimming it and putting it in a jar and selling it for top dollar as flour to the store, we grind it up. We're not selling bee buds. We're not doing shake. We're not doing trim. We have one of the best joint programs in the state, and I can say that with data we just got from Bridgeset. Besides, at our price point, for single source and pesticide free, we're in the top 3 joints in the state of Washington. Excluding Fat Panda, they're just in a different stratosphere. But the next 2 next to us are Mama Chan's and Ooey. Great brands. And I always knew we had a cult following in Washington. I just didn't know we were in the top 3. So that's been really cool to see recently. yeah, the joints have just been taking care of themselves. We have them in infused as well. So it's great to hear that you had that feedback even back then, because the quality, I know everybody says it, but I've been hearing it a lot the last 6 months from people, is the quality shot out the roof.
Yeah, I
So
mean, as you said, it's the market is a lot of this.
yeah,
But when a brand's been around for a while, it gives us the opportunity to be a part of that journey, be a part of that story, and notice these subtle differences. And I haven't been around there very often, so that means that every time I am trying it, it's drastically different. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah,
And when I got it from you, it was finally memorable.
yeah,
And I thought
yeah,
that that was something that was really cool because. For a little bit there, it was getting stale. It was the same brands there in Washington doing, and that were kind of, banging the drum up at the top, and now to see and connect and talk to a couple of different other groups, including you guys, it's definitely dope to see your guys' progress. Could you hold that jar back up again, and are you able to, is it open? Can you show them the note?
yeah.
Let's do a little show
Mm.
and tell here. What are we looking at here, Hamza?
So this hasn't dropped yet, but this is some London pound cake.
Oh, beautiful.
So
Look at
nice
that.
purple on there. The trichomes are sticking to the jar, of course. Got like a Pez smell to it, almost like Skittles or something, like a candy vibe in there. But nice and hairy. Oh, let's see if I can magnify that at the bottom.
Oh yeah, that looks solid.
Yeah, I mean, it's just something we're playing with. I mean, it's something you touched on. Uh, we have legacy strains that we keep around and we have to keep
Yeah,
around.
that's what I remember you guys for, is those older strains.
Yeah, so like lemon amnesia is something we have to have around, just because I have people writing in, calling, asking about it all the time. White Tahoe cookies is something we just, that's a strain they brought up with them from the California market,
Wow.
and I've wanted to drop it, but we can't. We can't. Everybody knows that strain by name. Everyone, oh, your White Tahoe cookies, man, it's gas. So we keep that one around. GG4, that's the strain that got me sold on this brand. I mean, I was buying at a store in Pullman, and Artie, the owner, dropped off his sample kit, and I popped open this GG4, and I said, "Holy shit! No one else in Washington grows GG4 like this." Because the only other time I had GG4 is from Cali a couple times, and I was just blown away. I was like, "Wow, I didn't know weed could get you high like this. This is
Yeah.
crazy." And then I opened some recreational sample in 2016, and we're just buds Pullman, and it was the best GG4 I've ever smoked. And here I am working with them 8 years later still. So that's a strain we keep around. I mean, I have stores, that's the only strain they buy because they can't get enough of it. I've got them onto some other stuff, but it's
Nothing hits the
that
same.
and then blueberry, just your classic blueberry. It takes you back to when you're in 8th grade or started smoking weed and you found out there's something besides that Reggie Bush. You're like, holy shit, there's purple, there's light green Cinex, there's this blueberry that smells like muffins. Like
I love the
so we
blueberry strains. That was one of the other ones I remember from you guys, in a big way.
yeah, so like that's stuff we have to keep around, but we're always messing around with genetics. Andy is a geneticist. He's a green thumb dude. Andy, Artie's youngest son, he's the owner from the soil. He lives on the farm. He walks off his front porch, feeds the chickens, walks into the top license,
Wow.
where we have all our indoor enclosures, because we also have a southern license too, where we have some outdoor enclosures that we use to supplement biomass for
What are all the
our
different what are all the different SKUs you guys offer, Hamza?
holy shit. Okay, so we're like the whole kit and caboodle minus edibles right now. So we offer flower, all flower joints, infused joints to complement our flower joints. So that's like your legacy products right there. We do concentrates. I have several different concentrates. We have a diamonds and terpenes. That's like 80% THCA diamonds and 20% cannabis terpenes, and that's something that goes out the door for $30 in most stores here in Washington.
Wow.
And if
Potent.
that's not getting your customer who needs that punch, they need to move on to something else, quite frankly, because that stuff is strong. So we have some great potent products like that, and then I have like a more economy class dab that is going to come out here and be around that $10 wholesale mark. We also just dropped brand, and I didn't have a sample with me. I'm a little bummed out. We have brand new all-in-ones.
Nice.
Just it's something the market's demanded. It's not anything we got into cannabis for, because we like to roll our weed up like big boys. But it's what people ask for.
I mean, if they like you, if they like your flower, we want to be able to taste it in the different formats, brother. That makes sense.
Yeah. Well, so this is the thing. We have it in melted diamonds with cannabis terpenes. We also have it in a live resin, cannabis terpenes. And then we have a flavored distillate with botanical terpenes where we tie in with one of your sponsors as well. But that is, you sell more Honda Civics than Highlanders, right?
Yeah.
So we gotta have that access point for different price points in the market. So we have the all-in-ones. We also have your ceramic 510 thread if you just like to use your rechargeable still.
Yep, I'm a fan of that. I like both.
Yeah, those are what I like to use if I'm going to use a pen. And those are like $30 to $35 depending on the store, out the door. Live resin terpenes, ceramic, very competitive. And then we have some metal flavored distillate ones, not metal, but like those older C-cell delivery systems.
Yeah.
So the metallic look, that's what we have for cartridges, concentrates, and then we do RSO as well, because we do not waste anything at our farm. I mean, you look at our waste pile, it's just roots and stems. You're not going to see a bunch of mulch or leaves in there. We use our biomass. We do a sativa wash, a hybrid wash, an indica wash, and then a CBD 1-to-1. And our RSO usually goes out the door for around $15, $17 in most stores.
Wow.
And what's so great about our RSOs is there's always going to be a different cannabinoid profile with every single mix. On one sativa wash, I could have 4 sativas in there, or the next 2 months, I could have 7 in there, vice versa for any of the hybrids or indicas. And our people who are using them for medical purposes love that because it tricks that endocannabinoid system. There's always going to be a different combination of strains in there. So it keeps them guessing, and it keeps that medicine compounding and working.
That's incredible.
I love the strain specific out there. We want to get to that eventually, but we just find that entourage effect of the multiple strains is what's working for our RSO. So that's been nice.
That's cool.
Yeah, dude, that's what's new from us. We're doing the all-in-ones. That's really what's new right now.
What out of the strains that you guys and some of the products that you have currently available, what are the 3 that you're most excited about?
Oh, for sure.
What strain or
Definitely.
flavor and what product?
So right now I'm just gung ho for our flower, just because the quality's just been improving so much. The flavor profiles are great. The highs are better. I love our runts. I've been a big proponent of our runts since day one. We've had it in the garden for about 3 years. Everybody does runts great, but I really think we knocked it out of the park. That strain and blueberry, I mean, it doesn't have what some people would call jar appeal, but you can smell it through the jar. It still gives you that great nostalgic high. And I'm always looking for something like that, or any fiery, gassy sativa, man. I'm always looking to elevate the mood, and I'm not dumping on indicas. I always appreciate a good indica, but it's summer, it's springtime, man. Let's get the sativas rolling.
Let's get it pop, or mix the 2. Let's get a little
Frankie blunt.
Come on.
But yeah, there's a bunch of new crosses we got coming out. We want a rotating tap, we're going to keep those classics, but we got the GMO root beers coming out. We got the GMO back cross with Wonka bars. We're going to have a bunch of cool GMO terps coming out. We're going to have more citrus strains coming out. We're going to have some more of those gassy strains, just touching on those really hot terpenes right now. And especially here in Washington, I'm just hearing it's the GMO and those candies, the gushers, the runts, the Skittles, all that stuff. So
yeah,
really trying to highlight those guys.
Love the candies and the dessert strains. They're always gonna have a place in my heart. What's your top 3 strains that you're growing right now? What that you guys have?
Top 3 strains. Our GG4 for sure. That guy does really well. A new one we just had hit the market. It's our own back cross of Animal Face and GMO. It's been given the name Face the Funk, and it just has a really, really great like head high, right in the face and the nose, and it's that funky GMO, hence the name. But that one's we dropped that probably about 4 months ago, and that one's been popping off. Yeah. And then for an indica, gosh, the White Tahoe cookies. Like, it's a classic, but it's just been crushing, dude. Yeah. It's so weird. It's so weird. Some people are just going back to what they know works. Like, I have so many people asking for Durban Poison, Jack Herrera, just some of those old head strains, the classic strains. So OG Cushes, more Girl Scout. Where's the forum cut Girl Scout? You know, stuff like that. So we're trying to keep it fresh. Peanut butter mouths. I have a whole list, dude. My brain's just all over the place right now. It's Friday.
No, of course, and again, brother, I appreciate you guys taking the time to educate me on the brand and just to share these strains and some of the products with us. It's dope to be able to learn about you guys. You know, obviously, there's a lot of people that about your guys. So it's cool to get them to find out that you guys maybe they have some other items that that they might want from you guys. Where can people visit? You guys got a website? What's your Instagram?
Yeah, we have a website. We have an Instagram. The website is fromthesoilfarms.com. Yep. There's a whole products education page. You can click. They have little videos, little blurb on our process, what sets us apart. They're like little TikTok style length. So anybody, bud tenders, general public can access that. Full transparency, man. I mean, we're proud of what we do. We're trying to do it the right way. Yeah, dude, it's been a process. It's been fun. It's a storm right now, that's for dang sure, but we're gonna get through it, man. We're really blessed. A lot of really great working relationships and a foundation to lay on, especially at these joints, man. The people know them in the state of Washington, and it's funny you brought that up. Some people didn't even know that we did flour or cartridges or other things, because when they hear Damn Tasties, they think that's the brand. But that's the product, kind of like Band-Aid or ketchup, or that type of deal. So I really do appreciate you giving us this light and time, because we are trying to get the word out that we aren't just a joint farm. We do really great flour. We do really great concentrates. Our RSO special, and everybody has a price point they need to fit on their all-in-one or cartridge wall, you know? So there's a team of 5 of us in the state of Washington. I have an awesome team, Steffo, who works with Terp Transit. A lot of people probably know he's with us up in Bellingham. I have Amber, who's working Linwood all the way to Seattle. I also got Tanya, who used to be the manager and buyer at Galaxy 21 in Seattle. She's an OG in the game, medical. She's been working with us in the Seattle, Tacoma region. I got Jason McCrae, who's been with us since like day one, 8 years now, and he was at Orgaro before that. And he's taking care of Peninsula to Vancouver. And then my stud in the east is Joshua, and he takes care of all central to Spokane, and we do a lot of Eastern Washington together. But dude, it's been a team effort, and we haven't got here just by sitting on our hands. So my hat goes off to them, already in the grow team as well, because it's been a team effort, dude, and this doesn't happen alone. So,
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Big shout out to the grow team as well. They don't, a lot of them get a lot of love, but also too, big shout out to you for shouting out the rest of the sales team, because it's a grind. I did a little bit of that grind for our brand out there for about a year, and it's definitely not. Yeah, it's definitely not easy. It's the timing, then it's got to perform. It's a lot of factors and variables that go into building a brand, especially in a market like Washington that still has a ton of brands out there with it. So, and now they're making these other SKUs. People are expanding into other categories, and they're going to continue to do that. The innovation will continue. What we look at the market there in Washington. I could give you a vague statement of like what's the state of the market like there, but as you just said, it's a storm, right?
Mm-hmm.
So for you, what do you feel? What do you feel like people from Washington, whether it's the consumers or the brands, like what should they know about the cannabis industry that maybe they don't know? Maybe what's a piece of advice that maybe you have for somebody to either be successful or if it's a consumer looking for something maybe?
When it comes to purchasing your products, the nose and the body knows. Do your research.
Classic game. Yeah, you
That's
gotta
all
try
I would
different
say.
stuff and smell.
Yeah. I like if you're getting a headache or your throat hurts or you're getting sick or something, you're smoking or eating something you shouldn't. That's all I know.
Yeah.
That's what served me the best. There's a lot of really, really great farms out there doing some really great stuff and doing it the right way. But there's some corners being cut because this is industrial cannabis at the end of the day. Everybody's got to be concerned about that bottom black line, right? So um, be aware. If your nose and your body knows, do your research. If you know it works for you, stick with it. Um, Try new stuff in the same breath too. Just go with the recommendations from your friends. Go with that recommendation from that bud tender you trust. Um, yeah, man, put yourself out there too. I didn't want to like be negative on it, but there's just I hear all these rumors and all this crazy stuff happening right now, and I'm like, dude, I'm so grateful. We're on our own land. We are growing it the best way we can, and we're putting out a premium, accessible product, and we're trying to do it the right way and not force anything down anybody's throat. So, doing it, being ethical, being respectful, being patient. That's what's been paying dividends in this market, I think. So
Yeah.
get through this, man. It's everybody's down 35% to more. It's going to be different. Everybody's clutching pearls right now in all the markets. We'll get through this. I just think we got to be positive with one another, keep each other up, hold each other tight, be that change you want to see in the world in your circles, and we'll be good, man. So
We're at the we're in Q2 right now. It's the end of May. We're going into Memorial Weekend. What's the latest, or what's the happenings coming up with From the Soil Farms as we get into June and summer and whatnot? What are you guys about to do this weekend for Memorial Day, if anything?
whew,
And then anything coming on in June or July for you guys?
man, we've just tried to be persistent and consistent. Like I said, we got 5 reps out there besides me, man, and we're trying to paint the state. Vendor days, Fridays, and Saturdays, man, all 4 corners. We're just trying to show up for our people, especially right now. Things are slow. So we're like, dude, if we just got to hang out, party, bring some samples, and win over a couple more customers, oh no, we get to have fun and hang out and connect more, And
Yeah.
we're just looking forward to the summer, man, because it's kind of we call it the high time because it's just a party. It feels like every other week we're going to visit a different store, hang out with a different group of friends, bud tenders, decision makers we know well, and just party. Like I'm looking forward to that. We have a bunch of new strains coming out.
You're such a Wazoo guy. You're such a fucking dude. It's so funny. I'm just trying to go party and hang out with these
Yeah,
guys,
yeah,
you know?
bro. Seriously, we got interchanges going. We got the remix interchange coming up. That'll be interesting.
No, facts.
Those events have been really fun. Raina and Greg over there. Yeah, dude. I mean, sun's out, guns out. Yeah, I'm just looking forward to getting out there, man. I'm saying
I
we're
love
new
you, dude. You're
farm.
so funny.
We're new farm. Who this for a lot of people? It's the most known unknown right now. So we got new all-in-ones. We got a bunch of strains nobody's seen before or heard of, and it's going to be a surprise. Everybody's heard of the damn Tasties, but you're going to see some really cool flower concentrates and all-in-ones on these shelves soon. They're going to be competitive with some of the big boys, and yeah, it's going to be a big year for us. I'm excited, man. And everybody in the state of Washington, dude. We're going to get through this BS, and yeah, it'll be different next year.
I'm excited for you guys, man. And Hamza, I appreciate you joining us for today's episode and sharing that update with everybody. Folks, for those of you guys watching, From the Soil Farms, this is Hamza Griffin. He is the sales director, right? That's what you said?
Yes, sir.
Sales director, man. Make sure you guys tap in, reach out, get your orders in. You guys can pump that through the website, or you guys can reach out directly to Hamza via email, which is
Hamzah, HAMZAH at FTSfarms.com.
simple enough. There we go,
Or
man. Make
From
sure you
the
guys,
Soil on Instagram.
or from the soil, you guys can reach out. That's how I got a
Yep.
hold of it.
Yep.
You had the same number though, all through all these years, so it was great.
Yes, sir.
You need to do it, man. I appreciate you, man, for joining. Thank you guys from the Soil Farms.
Thank you,
It's
Joey.
been wonderful. It's been great. Big shout out to Central Washington University. Big shout out to Wazoo. Big shout out to UW. Big shout out to all the
Go
colleges in the
Wildcats.
Pacific
Go
Northwest.
Cougs.
Big shout out to you guys and all your retail partners, man. If you guys are watching this and you guys travel to Seattle or you travel into Washington or fly into Spokane, make sure you visit your local dispensary and ask for From the Soil Farms, man. Tap in. Appreciate you guys. Big shout out to our sponsor,
Thank you,
Exxon
Joey.
Consultants. We'll see